So let's talk about stress. Stress is ubiquitous. It's sort of, you don't know it. It's hard to put your finger on it, right? To pinpoint it. But you know, you just feel anxious. You feel stress. Now, sometimes stress can be positive. Some people like stressful jobs. It makes them thrive. There are people like that, right? So for those people, a little stress is good for them. But by and large, stress is negative because it unfortunately affects the chemicals in your body to make your blood pressure go up and make your blood sugar go up. And so if you have diabetes or hypertension, stress is bad. Stress is bad. So again, focusing on what's happening with you personally is what you got to do, because everybody has the ability to alter their stress level. You're in control of this. You don't have to be stressed. All right, so stress is basically a physical or mental response to either a challenging or threatening situation brought on by a stressor. So when we're stressed, we get these chemicals, like I said, that get released, and those chemicals cause the stress to happen, but also affects the various systems in your body, all right? So there's two kinds of stress. There's chronic stress and there's acute stress. Acute stress is the stress response to an immediate threatening situation. But chronic stress is what we're talking about. That's caused by family relationships, by chronic illnesses, by financial instability, by racism and discrimination. For African Americans, big, huge reason for stress. And you don't even sometimes realize that stuff's going on and that it's affecting you, but it is, all right? So if you're on a job and there's a whole lot of people there that are, are racist, are not understanding, are putting these pressures on you, you need to get yourself another job. You need to get yourself another job. Right now, the unemployment rate's the lowest it's ever been. They say in this country now, we got 2 jobs for every 1 person. Now, you might not be trained to get those jobs. So that's on you. You need to get yourself together to get trained to get the job, another higher paying job, a job that you like. It's very important. I'm gonna deviate here just for a minute. So I had a conversation with my kids, and they're not kids, they're grown adults. I had a conversation with them last week, and let me tell you what they said to me, which is really interesting. I don't look at a job as fun. I don't see any pleasure in my job. You like your job. So you have spent your whole life doing something that you love to do. You get up every day looking forward to it. I don't look at it that way. A job is work. And I don't like to work. Okay, let me tell you something about that. And the reason I'm talking about this is right now in the African American community, but in communities of color all across this country, this is a real problem for our Gen Z and Gen Y, all of those folks that are 18 to 35. It's a problem. And let me tell you why it's a problem. Because you got to work to live. Unless you're going to win the lotto, you got to pay your rent, you got to pay your car note, you got to put gas in the car, you got to put food in your refrigerator, you got to turn your lights on. You got to work to live. All right, so if you hate what you have to do 40 hours a week, and it takes 40 for you to hit them bills, and you know it does. If you every day get up, get dressed, get in your car, and you are hating the fact that you got to go to this place, and you have to do that every day for the next 30 years, you got trouble. You got trouble. So I submit to you that the philosophy that you should not get joy out of what you get paid to do is a flawed philosophy. That's a flawed philosophy. So you need to correct that, folks. That's not working, because I'm talking about stress. And that means that for the next 30 years, every day that you go to this job that you hate, you're going to be stressed. And that's not the way to live life. So we got to change our concept of what we're doing with the hours of this life that we're living, because we only got so many hours in this life. And so you may need to make every single one of them as happy as possible, as fulfilled as possible, as purposeful as possible. That's you. That's on you. So I can't feel sorry for you if you're stressed and you're depressed, because you're not doing what you need to do to change that, because it's in your control. So when you think about stress, you're talking about stresses to your mind, stresses to your body, stressors to your emotions, and stressors to your behavior. All right, so this is a really good slide. Go again, all of these slides and all of these talks are up on my website, Healing Our Village Official. This is a slide you need to spend some time with, because it basically talks about, so if you're talking about the stress of the mind, let's just start there. That's worrying. That's all of this kind of muddled thinking, impaired judgment. All right, doing things that put you at risk, doing things which make you have bad things happen, not thinking ahead, not trying to prevent bad things from happening. All right? We laughed at our parents and our grandparents with all of their old sayings about, a pound of prevention is worth a pound of, is more than worth a pound of cure. A pound of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So if I prevent bad things from happening because I think ahead, then I don't have to try to fix it at the last minute. Yes. All right? I used to tell people all the time, and I still do, lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. You need to plan. So you have to get your judgment so that it's not impaired. Nightmares, negativity, making hasty decisions, all of that create stress. All right, let's talk about behaviors. Being accident prone. You know, you got things in your household that you know are an accident waiting to happen. Fix it. You got a step that's broken, fix it. You need a shower mat in your shower because you're slippery, get a shower mat. If you know your car needs a tune-up, if you know your car needs new tires, get the tires. All of these things where accidents happen, but when you then look at why the accident happened. Yesterday, I avoided an accident by seconds. This guy was coming across the light heading straight for me. He must have been going 100 miles an hour. I had to swerve to get out of his way. It was going to be a head-on collision if I hadn't been paying attention and swerved at the right second. Guess what? If I had been looking at my phone texting, oh yeah, I would have missed that. Oh yeah, no, that wouldn't have been done. I wouldn't be here today talking to you. So this idea of not being accident prone is important, all right? Loss of appetite, loss of sex drive, drinking more than you should, having insomnia, restlessness, smoking more than you should. All of these are behaviors that you can change. All right, emotions, being irritable, depressed, having apathy, all right? Not seeing any joy in your life. Losing confidence in your ability to be amazing. You're amazing, but you've lost confidence that you're amazing, and so therefore, that's a problem. Those are emotions. Those are things that you can control. Depression, sadness. Sadness. I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago. They just had a breakup with the guy that they were dating. And so just thinking about that makes them sad, makes them want to cry. And what I said to them is that you get to control how you think about that situation. So I've just had a breakup. I've lost someone that I was in love with. They left me. I didn't leave them. And that makes me sad because now I'm lonely. Well, doesn't have to. you could have a whole different take on that thing. You could say, man, am I glad they're gone? Because if I go back and I think about what that looked like every day, I wasn't happy a lot of the time while they was there, okay? I wasn't happy a whole bunch of the time that they were there. So now they're gone. I need to be celebrating. It's party time. It's time to go out and call up people I haven't talked to in a long time and say, hey, what y'all doing? Hey, let me come by. Let's go out. Let's do something. Let's have some fun. Yeah, because you now have, this is an anchor around your neck that now has been taken off. You could look at it that way. You get the choice of how you look at your life and how that then creates the emotion that you have about that. So I'm always been, my entire life, since I was a little girl, glass half full. I'm always a glass half full kind of person. I'm always trying to find the good in the bad. I have friends of mine who have told me that I could find a good use for peach pits and lemon seeds. And they're right. I'd figure out something good to do with some peach pits and lemon seeds, because that's the way I live my life. And I don't let anyone come in and try to mess with that. Now, do I have problems? Sure I do. Do I have people that try to mess up my life all the time? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But they don't come in and take residence in my head or in my heart. I don't let them they don't set up shop there. They can maybe visit for a minute, but they got to go, okay? Emotions. And then your body. Your body tells you when there's a problem. You have headaches. You've got a bunch of infections that you don't usually get. All of a sudden, your neck muscles and all your back muscles are taut, right? You're tired. You're having a hard time even getting out there doing the things you used to do because of shortness of breath. All of these are physical manifestations of stress. So I want you all to go back, look at this slide. This is an important slide, and then start thinking about every single one of those categories in your life. Write it down on a piece of paper so that you can figure out how you're going to start checking off these boxes to get rid of the stuff in your life that's causing you to be stressed.